Hey, it's Luke again. I am back from my thinking session after my time on the stump. I've been incredibly busy over the last few months. So I've just completed a contract for Corrections Victoria on positive transitional employment stories. So for anybody that's tuning in for the first time and doesn't know anything about me, I've had a bit of an interesting past. I'd served a 4.5-year prison sentence for trafficking MDMA and cocaine. Grew up in a housing commission, and I managed to turn my life around in the past 5 years. In particular, back out in the community, I've been able to contribute in some really positive ways and work on some really exciting things. Now, after all the work that I've done, both on myself and out in the community, I've felt like the time was right for me to be able to start sharing my life experiences and my wisdom. But as you would see in my last video, I wasn't 100% sure on how I was going to do that or where my wisdom and knowledge was going to be best placed. So where I've ended up coming to is I'm going to start a podcast. It's going to be called Beyond Bars and Biases, and it's going to draw on the knowledge and wisdom that I have on the correction system to be able to depoliticize the correction system as much as possible. You're probably wondering what I mean by that. So when I say depoliticize the correction system, I draw off of the observations that I've made when I look at the Norwegian correction system, which is the world leader in the space. Their recidivism rates are half of what we've got in Australia, and yet not even close compared to the rest of the world. Then when I look into what it is that it could be as to why they're leading by a country mile, you very quickly come to realise that with their political system, they're not as subject to that political football game that other countries like the US, Australia and the UK sort of have when it comes to the correction system, and that the hard-on crime approach or drug reform and other topics that are in those realms. So I thought, what better opportunity do I have than to start to leverage the networks that I've established and the knowledge that I've got to be able to start to have conversations and bring the general public on a journey with me to be able to start to explore what the solutions could possibly be in the corrections system, to be able to apply both locally and then hopefully abroad as well. Because I think that one of the main issues that we're suffering from is that we see all the bad stories in the media and we base all of our decisions and our votes off of the horrible stuff that we see all the time. Whereas if we actually think about things and we get informed and we have a good grasp on what the current state of affairs are, then it becomes a much more attractive prospect for politicians to be able to support well-informed and well-intentioned programs and projects that will be able to help address disadvantage and criminality at scale, which will reduce the recidivism rate massively. And the final flow-on effect of that is that it saves tax dollars to be able to be spent on creating healthy and thriving communities and reinvest the billions of dollars that are spent every single year on other areas of need, rather than paying hundreds of thousands of dollars per person every year just to keep them locked up. If this is a conversation that sounds like it's important to you and you want to support, obviously like and subscribe, and down the track I'm going to provide other ways to be able to support the concept. But for now, just stay tuned, and I'm really excited to see where this heads. Thank you.